Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Courtney Johnson-Rose. I'm here today at the HAR Housing Symposium. Wow, the information is so timely, it's so relevant, it's just good. We just had a panel on home builders, down payment assistance. This afternoon, we have AI in real estate.
It's great, man. I tell people all the time, there's one thing to be in the room, which everybody always talk about, but it's another thing to be impactful in the room. This is a great networking event with people from all walks of life, all different backgrounds and different experiences that are merging together, and you have an opportunity to learn, grow, and network, and that's what we've been getting today. I had a great opportunity to be a panelist and speak about what we've done with Prosperity Bank and all the opportunities that we bring into the marketplace, but even off the stage, I had an opportunity to meet with so many great people and learn what they are doing and how we can combine and come together in collaboration over competition.
Hi, my name is Lexi Bogney. I am a realtor with Next Home, the Next Home Luxury Premier Brokerage. So this is my first official housing symposium as a licensed realtor, and I just want to say it's an amazing opportunity to get to be here today. This is my mom's event as she's the governmental affairs director, but that aside, it's just a great way and opportunity to get to learn some new information about what's going on in the housing market today. It's really shown me how housing and affordability is not impossible, it's very possible. And so I'm just having a great time learning everything, soaking up new information. We just had a great panel about AI, and so I'm excited to get use of that and learn how to use it for my business as well.
HAR.com is real-time house buying. When I compared it with the other sites, it was more up to date. I had never seen anything like that. It allowed me to have more confidence in the decision that I was making to buy a house.
Good morning and welcome to Member Focus Monday. I'm Christina Schaefer, Director of Social Media and Sponsorships for HAR. And today's guest truly needs no introduction. Today we have with us Bob Hale, who is HAR's President and CEO. He's going to be joining me to talk about the big picture, what's happening in the real estate industry, what's ahead for 2026, and why HAR continues to be a national leader in serving its members. Welcome back to the program, Bob.
Thanks. Good to be here, buddy. How are you?
I'm doing great, and I'm happy to see you this Monday morning. Really looking forward to this conversation, and we've got some big changes coming as well, which we're going to discuss. But let's just start where we are today. How are you feeling as you approach your final weeks as HAR's president and CEO?
Well, it's a bittersweet feeling. I had a tremendous career with HAR, but I'm going to miss every single member and every single staff member and every officer and director, and it's like a family at HAR. But looking at what HAR has become, its innovative reputation, we are the most innovative association in MLS in the country, without a doubt. And then you look at HAR.com's impact on members and consumers, and then the culture of member service that HR provides. And it's hard not to feel proud of what a committed staff team and a visionary leadership have accomplished together. I always say our staff and our leadership are like spaghetti. They all meld together, they work together. It's not about me or them or this. It's about
Mhm.
us. And that's what makes HR, I think, so special. And the
Mhm.
recognition of HR and its leadership have received nationally reinforces the fact that HR has made a meaningful contribution to this industry. It's not
Mhm.
just about a 35-year long tenure as CEO.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, as you said, there's so much to be proud of, and I know you are very proud, and you talk about HAR everywhere you go. What are some of the things that you're most proud of when you look back at your time leading HAR?
So we have an hour to talk about these. Is that right? There's
Just this
so
question
many.
alone,
Yeah,
1 hour.
there's so many. But let me say that it really started in 1973 when
Mhm.
I was retained as the HAR legal counsel. And
Mhm.
one of the first things we did was eliminate the MLS book. If you can, I know most of the members on here today are asking what was an MLS book, but do you know why we got rid of the MLS book?
Why was that?
Became too heavy to lift. They were humongous. They were huge and stacks of them. And it was just, it was crazy. So we were the first, I believe, MLS in the country to go to the computer, if you could call it a computer at that time. But we did get rid of the book. The other
Mhm.
big thing we did is NAR was promoting regional MLSs. So if you had 4 or 10 or 15 associations, they should all get together and form one MLS and all own that MLS. My advice to HR at that time was don't do that. That's a bad idea. Let the other surrounding members of associations join the MLS. Don't charge them more money, give them the same benefits, but it's our MLS and they can be members. So that decision that HR did resulted in the merger of Fort Bend, Bay Area, and Montgomery County, brought in about 4,500 members. The staff all got better benefits than they got before of those associations. They all got new locations. The members paid lower dues. It was a win-win for everybody. Then you
Mhm.
compare that to Netris in Dallas. There's about 13 associations. They're a part of it, and it just doesn't work as well. So I'm very proud of HR in making that decision. Then the big thing that HR did, I guess you have to say, is created HR.com, which
Mhm.
was the first and really still the only, basically, MLS website in the country.
Mhm.
Last year, our member listings received views of the detailed listing page 400 million times.
Mhm.
400
Wow.
million times. Imagine
Mhm.
the impact that has on everybody. And
Mhm.
then if you look at visitor sessions, that's how many people come to a real estate website. HR.com consistently, month after month after month, has more visitors come to it than Zillow and Realtor.com combined. And our app, which I think we're the only MLS in the country that created its own apps, has been
Mhm.
downloaded 3.7 million times by members and consumers.
Mhm.
HR is in Spanish because so many residents of the greater Houston area speak Spanish. We created agent ratings. Agents fought it, and yet today we have thousands and thousands of agents that use it and say we never lose a listing because of my agent ratings. They
Mhm.
they love it. And they get mad at me for talking about it. They say, quit talking about it. I don't want anybody else to get involved. And then the feeling was we need our own showing service.
Mhm.
So what happened? Our technology team, led by Taki Risby, got together with his technology advisory group and said, "What do you want? Here's a big whiteboard. It's blank.
Mhm.
What do you want? We're going to build it from scratch." So it
Mhm.
was built by members, and that's why it's so popular. We've had 5.3 million showings facilitated by that service since it went into operation. And almost every day, there's a new addition made to it because members say, boy, if it only did this, it'd be great. So Taki does, okay, well, let's do it. And then we've started data sharing. So HAR
Mhm.
now has a data share and lockbox sharing with Austin, San Antonio, and Netris, which is Houston. Did I lose you?
Oh no, we're still here. I apologize.
My screen's going blank.
We
Okay,
got a click there. Sorry about that.
that's all right. Then MLS Platinum. NAR years ago told us you have to start charging for certain tools that you create because you can't have the member of MLS pay for something they may not want. So we fought it. We procrastinated for 2 years. We finally did it. I was scared to death of the member. I was worried they were going to revolt. They were going to get mad. We did it. We have not had one single email or call from a member saying, I don't like it. Today, we've got over 20,000 members who voluntarily subscribe to MLS Platinum. And TreePack has raised over $8 million during the last 8 years, unlike any association in the country. We raise more PAC money than most states, probably 3/4 of the states. HR Global has received the platinum recognition by NAR year after year. HR education programs every single year receive the top awards by TR. And YPN has been recognized by NAR as an outstanding chapter. And we are the second largest realtor association in the country, but without a doubt, the most innovative and valuable to its members.
Yeah, absolutely, Bob. Thank you
That's
so much
just,
for
that's just
going
a
through
few,
those.
few things.
Yeah, absolutely. And so it's a few things, but it's so much and so much innovation and leadership behind it all. I wanted to just share a couple comments that have come in. ALN Houston said, thank you for all that you've done. Happy holidays. Lana Pham was saying good morning. She loves the example of spaghetti and says that we're making great sauces. um, Catherine said, Mr. Hale's been a great leader for us. And then Richard Aguilar, who manages our Showing Smart and CRM, just said, thank you. Showing Smart is the best because of the member feedback. So Showing Smart is successful because of our members. And that's absolutely true. So thank you for those comments that are coming in. If you have questions for Bob, you can type those in as well. We'll be happy to take any of the questions that you have. So what do you think, Bob, HR is best known for now, and what makes it stand out nationally?
Although we have so many benefits, so many things we've done, whether it's Showing Smart or Agent Ratings or YPN, HR.com is the star. I mean, you go to any national meeting and all they talk about is HR.com, HR.com. So we're recognized nationally for that, which is a huge thing. I mean,
Yeah,
when you think about, we're competing with 4 national portals, all worth multiple billions of dollars individually. We've got about $88 in the bank to compete. It's phenomenal what we've accomplished, which no one else has done come anywhere near that. We're the only website in the country, whether a broker or a portal or a franchise, that beats Zillow. They're number one in every city in America except Houston, Texas. So
which
I am
is
proud.
it's just amazing to think of. Absolutely. And I think I could probably guess your answer for this one, but what do you think is maybe the most impactful decision that HR has made during your tenure?
I'd say the creation of HR.com, without a
Yeah.
doubt. And I talk about Zillow and Realtor and Homes and Redfin, and they're all competitors, but we're friendly competitors. We don't despise each other. We don't fight. We work together because our goal is to help our members sell the listing for the seller they represent and to find the buyer that wants that perfect home. So
Yeah.
we get along great. We really do. But we compete. And I
Yeah.
always want to be number one. I never want to be number two.
Absolutely. I actually waited to share this with you, Bob, but we talk about, HAR and HAR.com. And I know you personally will sometimes get stopped by doctors or dentists or whoever, and they'll tell you about HAR. But somebody told me just 2 weeks ago that HAR is actually a verb. Now we say HAR, but a lot of people say HAR. But they were like, there's HAR is a verb, right? And I was like, what are you talking about? And they said, yeah, I call it harring when I'm scrolling HAR's app. People say, what are you doing? I say, I'm harring. So I waited till now to share that with you because I just thought that was great. What are some things that most members don't know about HAR.com?
Well, what most members probably don't know is that it's a fluke that HR.com exists. I blindly stumbled into it. In 1996, there was a conference in Houston, a national conference, and I was not going to go because it was at a hotel pretty far away, a long drive. And on the last minute that morning, I said, "Well, heck, I'm not that busy. I think I will drive out there and hear the speaker."
Mm-hmm.
And he talked about the internet. And back then, AOL was the internet. I mean, people didn't know in 1996 much at all about the internet. And he said something that really resonated with me. And he said, in the future, your internet presence will be far more valuable than your physical presence.
Mm-hmm.
And I had no earthly idea what he meant. What in the world what is he talking about? So at the end of his presentation and during the break, I went up to him and I asked, "Can I ask you a question?" He said, "Certainly." I said, "What are you talking about? I mean, explain to me what that meant." He said, "It's real simple. Your website will be far more valuable to a business than your office building." And I thought, we don't even have a website. We have an office building, but we don't have a website.
Mm-hmm.
So I left there, went back to the office, got Renee Galvan. I got ahead of our technology department. We went to Molina's, our favorite Mexican restaurant. We obviously ordered margaritas so we could start to think. And we mapped out what a website could look like on a paper napkin. We created HR.com in our minds that day at Molina's. It was
Wow.
dumb luck. If I think many, many times, what if I hadn't have gone to hear that speaker? Would there be an HR.com? And I'll tell you, probably not. Probably because there isn't one anywhere else in the country except basically Utah, out of all the 600 MLSs. So it's not like everybody just runs out and does that. And at that time, there was no Zillow, there was no Homes, there was no Realtor.com, there was no Redfin. So we were way ahead, way ahead. And I spent a year trying to convince the brokers, let's work together and let's cooperate together. Because at first they all were like, no, I want them to come to my website. And I said, you don't have a website. Let's work together. And after a year of begging and pleading and showing them why, they all agreed because all the leads would go to the agents and the broker. There would be no listing fee. There would be no referral fee. There would be no advertising fees. And so in 1997, October of 1997, HR.com, with the full support of the membership, was launched.
Oh, that's amazing. And to think it all started on a paper napkin, right? And now we
Well, it
have
all
Haring.
started with me going to a program that I wasn't planning to go to, and I just think,
Right.
thank goodness I went to that program.
Yeah. People sometimes say when you go to a conference, if you can get 2 or 3 nuggets, that's great. I think you got a really good nugget that day.
And what happened is we created it, and many big brokers and franchises around the country didn't like it because they at that time we didn't have a really big broker in Houston. Some markets had a broker of 30, 40, 50% market share. They wanted to be that source, so they would not let their MLS create a website. And I remember going to speaking at a national conference, and the guy I debated worked for a big broker in Chicago, and he put a sign up, Bob Hale, the real estate communist, that I was a communist because of HR.com. So there was a lot of animosity around the country. Some of the big brokers went to NAR and tried to amend the rules to not allow an MLS to spend any of its money to advertise its public website. That would have been disastrous. So I debated a bunch of them, and we won, But this has not been an easy road. Everybody looks at HR.com as you're king of the mountain. Yeah, but it took a long time to climb that mountain. It was not an easy deal.
Yeah. Well, thank goodness you went to that conference and you saw the vision and that the leaders followed, the brokers followed. That's wonderful. What's something that HAR did not do? So sometimes leadership is about doing, sometimes it's about not doing, right? What's maybe something HAR did not do that turned out to be a good decision?
There's been a number of things that MLS did not do that I'm very glad we didn't do. I give a lot of credit to Sean Dolphine, who runs the MLS or has. And he made some, I mean, for example, years ago, a lot of MLSs went to what they call a token. And so before you could log into your MLS, you had to click your token or however that worked, and you got a number and you had to put it in before you could get in. That way you couldn't share your access to the MLS. They were paying $500,000 a year, and the agents hated it. We didn't do that. And finally, everybody got rid of it. But that's just one example of some bad stuff, bad ideas. Now, HAR nearly made a bad decision also. And that is we seriously considered buying the AT&T building next door to HAR, which at that time was a really nice, beautiful building. Okay. We were going to gut it. We were going to turn it into a training center, and we would pick up extra parking. The deal was pretty far along, but it had not closed yet when COVID hit. So almost overnight, education shifted from in-person to online. There was no in-person training for education as COVID broke. So we went from classrooms to computer screens. And as remote learning exploded, and I mean, it exploded all over the country, it became clear that many members, especially parents or people with long commutes, could now participate in classes from home in ways they couldn't before. So recognizing that education would never return to being only in person, we walked away from the purchase and canceled the contract. And HAR closed on that property. Let's say we had closed right before COVID, which we could have. It would likely be carrying a costly, underutilized facility today, an albatross around our neck. Instead, HAR was able to invest in virtual training and hybrid education that actually matched, and in person, what members wanted. The fact that the former AT&T building still sits empty, and if many of you seen it, it's a eyesore to say the least. There's graffiti all over it. It's been gutted. The trees and bushes are all overgrown. But in the end, it's a reminder that sometimes the best wins are the bad deals we don't do. And I respect so much our leadership for making that really good decision.
Absolutely. Thank goodness for that. We had another comment that came in that I wanted to share with you. Kayla said, we're a part of some nationwide groups. When we ask things about the leads from their MLS or the services from their MLS, they look at us like we're crazy. It doesn't exist other than in Houston, and we are so grateful. So just wanted to share
So true.
that great
That is
comment
so
from
true.
Kayla there. Yeah, wonderful. Well, Bob, you've always had your eye on what's coming next, right? You're always looking forward. What do you think realtors should be paying the most attention to as we approach 2026 and even beyond?
Oh, there's so many things. Let me just say there was a time when the industry believed the internet would disintermediate agents, that it would replace agents. The truth is the internet made life easier for the agent and more productive and profitable for the agent. Now, AI may be far more disruptive than the internet ever could have been. AI is already displacing hundreds of thousands of jobs in numerous industries, all kinds of industries. And people have even predicted no one will be working. The future AI will do everything. Well, if you don't have a job, how are you going to afford a mortgage? I I mean,
Mm,
this is serious to our industry if we look at the big picture. But there are many ways that AI will benefit realtors and consumers in the real estate industry. Right now, AI allows natural language search, meaning you search like you speak, not
mhm,
clicking boxes of one bedroom, two bath, price range.
mhm,
And HR.com is in the process of implementing that, and it's in beta. So, for example, consumers will speak to their computer or their phone and ask, show me all four bedroom, three bath homes between 1.2 and $1.6 million with a saltwater pool in zip code 77007. And the results will come back.
mm. That's awesome. That's wonderful.
Now that changes everything for consumers. Now, the
Mhm,
thing we all have to do now is make sure that everything a consumer may ask about is going to be in the MLS database.
mhm,
Because if you ask for a saltwater pool and that's not a field, then you're not going to get it. Okay.
mhm,
And people are saying now go to Redfin because they do that
mhm,
as one example. So that's going to change a lot. It's going to be dramatically critical to consumers. AI will now generate a CMA. There's a company now that will sell realtors or consumers access to a CMA on any property they're thinking about buying.
mm,
Imagine that. Now you've got a national competitor that you don't even know. Okay, AI is going to be doing that.
mhm,
It will generate contracts or offers. Okay. Years ago, I read an article that said in the future, the computer will generate the earnest money contract or the offer better than the realtor. And I was like, how in the heck is that possible? What are they talking about? They were talking
mhm,
about AI because
mhm,
the theory is AI will know everything about that property, everything about that seller, everything about that buyer. And you put all that together and you'll make the perfect offer. Now, whether that comes to fruition or not, but that's certainly going to be a possibility. It will
mhm,
create social media posts. We're already doing that. It will create listing remarks. We're already doing that at HR.
mhm,
They'll create photo descriptions. It's already doing that. So we're already
mhm,
ahead in many of these ways to help agents save time and make it better. Now,
mhm,
to give you an example, in Portugal, a realtor or a broker, which is a Christie's affiliate, has deployed an AI agent that has already helped generate $100 million in residential property sales. The AI has created or generated or helped generate $100 million in sales by
mhm,
capturing and qualifying leads and running virtual tours. It functions 24/7. It doesn't sleep. It doesn't eat. It doesn't take a vacation.
mm,
It works all day, every day, all the time. As a front desk salesperson that hands off serious buyers to agents in the company.
mhm,
It's kind of like think about the driverless trucks now on Houston highways going to Dallas.
mhm,
18 wheelers, nobody in them. They drive all the time. They don't have to stop like a driver of a truck can only work so many hours and they have to be off so many hours.
mhm,
These trucks don't sleep, they don't rest, they just go. Okay. That's what this AI is doing. So the first AI real estate agent can converse with buyers, answer questions about the 5,000 properties this broker has listed
mhm.
and guide them through virtual tours.
Wow,
$100
that's
billion.
amazing.
So think about how that will benefit the brokerage.
Mhm. Yeah. And I like that you were saying, and I'm curious to know more about it. I like that you're saying it's almost their first line of defense, right? The person that's answering the phone. But that's what we know people have a hard time with. I never can get a realtor to answer the phone. Well, this AI agent's answering the phone.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
And
And
the
then pass
AI
off a mhm,
and the AI has been trained on those 5,000 listings and trained on
mhm.
every new listing they get to where they
Yeah.
know everything about that listing. So if I'm the agent on the front desk and you call me and ask me about listing 4003, whatever that is,
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any earthly idea. I've got to go look it up.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas this AI knows exactly everything about it. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the difference. That's the difference.
Yeah. And you said it passes off a more serious buyer to other agents within the
Yeah,
brokerage.
they're
So
they're
it's
qualifying. So they
Mhm.
figure this is really a potential good buyer.
Yeah,
Agent A
something
gets it.
definitely something brokers and managers should be looking at, you know.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you so much, Bob. So, what trends or shifts in the real estate industry worry you the most or maybe excite you the most?
I guess a worry is affordability. Forecasts
Hmm.
show that only modest sales growth, with prices still going higher, mortgage rates staying well above the old normal, keeping first-time home buyers at historically low shares of the market. So if you can't get the first-time home buyer in who moves up, that's the way the whole system works. You got to start at the bottom and move up.
Hmm.
And right now, young people, they just can't buy a home.
Hmm.
They just, when you look at the prices in 2020 versus 2025, in many markets, they've doubled.
Hmm.
And that poor young person is saying, my gosh, if only I'd have bought it in 2020, but I didn't have any money then.
Hmm.
And now with these rates and the prices keep going up. I don't know, that affordability is probably the big problem we've
Hmm.
got. Then I worry
Hmm.
about the other one is homeowners insurance.
Hmm.
Homeowners insurance and taxes in many markets are more than the principal and interest payment. And insurance premiums are going up, up, up. The deductions are going up and the coverage is going down, the things that are covered. So it's a bad situation. But not only that, in many markets, insurance companies are just pulling out. Just I'm not going to write there anymore.
Hmm.
I can't afford to. The hurricanes, the wildfires, the floods, we just can't cover the claims. So
Hmm.
the Chronicle reported this week 1/3 of all homes in Harris County, 1/3 of all homes in Harris County fall in a high flood risk category.
Hmm.
Think about that, 1/3
Hmm.
flood risk category. So those are serious. Exciting. Houston is second in the country for industrial construction with 17 million square feet of space being built. So I mean, literally number two, and we're getting a lot of AI coming uh, to Houston, big plants.
Hmm.
And we have a record number of homes for sale, 44,000 recently, the largest inventory in the country. So to sell something, you got to have something to sell. So having inventory is extremely important. So ours is coming back. So
Hmm.
those are some of the worries and some of the exciting things.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for sharing those. Um, and another a comment just came in. Houston is one of the highest rates for homeowners insurance. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. What is your advice, Bob, for the next generation of leadership at HAR?
I would say surround yourself with people smarter than you.
Mm,
I know so many leaders who want to be the smartest person and they don't want to hire anybody or have anybody too smart around them because then they don't look good. I've always said, I want to be the dumbest, laziest employee at HAR. And many people have said you've succeeded. And I have because I have the greatest staff in the country. Every member of that HR staff team is smarter than me. And that's exactly the way I want it, including you. You're amazing. And then never micromanage staff. Set goals, measure their performance, and reward them if they succeed.
mhm,
Be open minded. Remember, internet presence is more important than physical presence. So if I had not been open minded and said, okay, you're right, let's do this, I could have said, this guy's a quack and I'm not going to pay any attention to it. So be open minded. And then be
mhm,
willing to take chances and succeed. But sometimes you're going to fail miserably. And
mhm,
if we don't take chances, we're never going to succeed. So let me give you three examples. HR.com. For a year, the brokers opposed it, but we took a chance and we succeeded.
mhm,
Agent ratings. Agents opposed it. And yet today there's thousands of agents using it. We succeeded. Agent Match. I don't know if anybody remembers Agent Match, but we created a product on HR.com where you could search for agents based upon their production. And it would show it on a map. So if a agent popped up and they had 160 new home listings, it looked like they were king of the mountain. And then, the brand new agent had no listings and they didn't show up. So this is one of those things. It wasn't the brokers that opposed it. It wasn't the agents that opposed it. It was everybody opposed it. So the HR board of directors had voted unanimously to do it. And being the brave people we are, we kept it up for almost a full day and then took it down. Because what we did is we listened to the members. You don't want it. We made a mistake. We're not going to do it. But what we did do that year at the Inman Conference is we received the Inman Innovator of the Year award for something that we didn't do because we took a chance. We were willing to take a chance and innovate. And Inman said, we beat out Zillow, we beat out Realtor, we beat out RPR, we beat out 6 other national organizations that were all like, but that's not right. They didn't do it. Well, we tried. That's what we got awarded for. Stay in contact with other national leaders of associations and MLSs and franchises and portals and brokers. Get to know your counterparts. Hire the best consultants you can and be open-minded and take their advice. And be liked. Treat everyone with respect and build lasting relationships.
Yeah.
I've told many staff, if people like you, you can mess up. If they don't like you, wear the wrong tie one day and they're going to get rid of them. Be liked. I think that's very important. And be humble. Remember, even though you're receiving that recognition or that award, it's really the team behind you that made it possible. So share that recognition with them. So those are some of the things I would suggest.
Thank you so much for that. Just a comment that came in from Teresa Hill, who is going to be installed later this week as our 2026
Yay.
chair. She said, the HR staff is the best. The longevity of the employees speaks volumes. Yeah, thank you so much, Teresa. We appreciate that. Well, Bob, I'm sure there's been a lot of things that you've heard throughout the years that you're like, that's just not right, or people are just not getting it right. They maybe have an assumption about something, and they just go with it, right? So, what's something that people still get wrong about HAR or the work HAR does that you want to clear up?
Probably the number one is the fact that we do not sell or give agent emails to anybody. Those are not given to anybody. Now, I don't know. I don't think TR and AR does. I don't think Trek does. But a lot of other people have your emails. So, but I promise you, we do not do it. So I just want to clarify that. The other thing is we send out a bill every year for membership, and it's almost $500. And the members, rightfully so, will say HR dues are too high. The truth is, though, and that's what I want to make sure everybody understands the truth here, of the $490 bill that you'll get, $132 goes to HAR. And that's the least amount of the three. $132 to HAR, $157 to TR, and $201 to NAR. So we're the lowest, and more than 2/3 of that money goes to NAR and TR, not HAR. And I'm real proud to say, and I think this is extremely important, that HAR local dues have not been increased in 23 years. So 23 years ago, it was $132, and it's $132 today. The other organizations can't remotely indicate that. So I think that's important to know.
Absolutely. Thank you, Bob. Thank you so much for that. Well, a question came in from Andrea. She said, I'm curious, Bob, what's the next big move? So, Bob, what's next for you in retirement?
Sleep late, not get up early to do money, member focus money. And longer walks and more playtime with our puppy Honey, which we love. She's a little over a year old now. And the travel is going to shift from where do I need to go for HAR to where do I want to go for Bob and Susie. So some
Mm.
personal travel and not business travel. So that's going to be a major change because right now being CEO of a big association, there's a lot of travel, a tremendous
Hmm.
amount.
Yeah. Thank you. And Rochelle, just a comment from Rochelle. Thank you for the clarification on the dues, because, like you said, I think that's something that people still get confused about. So I appreciate you doing that. Do you have any final thoughts or messages that you want to share with HAR members and staff?
I would say working with HAR and the amazing members for the past 53 years as lawyer, lobbyist, and CEO has been the most rewarding experience anybody could hope for. It's been absolutely an incredible journey. And as I retire at the end of January, I will transition to CEO Emeritus and consultant to HR during 2026, a role that allows me to continue supporting an organization and membership I truly cherish. And I want to close by thanking every HR member for the trust, the collaboration, and the friendship you've shared with me over these past decades. It's been an honor of a lifetime to serve all of you. And let me assure you, let me make this clear, you are in great hands as my good friend and outstanding leader, Renee Galvan, becomes your new CEO. And knowing Renee to be so capable, member driven, and deeply familiar with HAR, I have every confidence that HAR's best days are ahead under Renee's leadership. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Well, a couple comments I just wanted to share. Actually, Rene Galvan was in the comments and he said, Bob is the best, a great leader, mentor, and friend. Love you, boss. So that's a nice one there. Carlene Johnson said,
Let me just
oh,
say,
so go ahead. Yes.
Renee has always called me boss. Okay, I said, Renee, what are you going to call me when I'm no longer your boss? I'm going to call you boss. He's
I
the
love
best.
that.
Yeah.
Very good. A couple more. Bob, you have always rocked. That was from Demiria. Rick said, thank you for your outstanding leadership, Bob. And CJ Johnson said, we're truly blessed to be able to benefit from Bob Hale's open mind, forward thinking, and leadership through HAR.com. And of course, more comments are rolling in. People thanking you, wishing you the best, and telling Marla Lewis said, sleep in enough for both you and me in retirement. Well, very good. Well, Bob, again, thank you so much for everything you've done for us at HAR, but of course also your time this morning. We always like to close out the year of Member Focus Monday with you, and I'm glad we were able to do that with you one more time.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Well, that's a
Have
wrap
a
for
great
this member.
holiday.
Yes, happy holidays. That's it for this Member Focus Monday. We are taking a short break for the holidays, as we just said, but we'll be back on Monday, January 5th, with a special episode with our, at that time, will be newly installed chair of the board, Teresa Hill. So until then, I hope you all have a wonderful, safe, and happy holiday season, and we will see you in 2026. Bye bye.
Bye bye.